Tashdele everyone, welcome to our Yuthok Nyingthig online education. So as everyone knows, Yuthok is the founder of Soarikpa, traditional Tibetan medicine, and he is also the founder of Yuthok Nyingthig, Yuthok's heart teaching. And so firstly, I'm going to give a short explanation what Yuthok Nyingthig is. Yuthok is the family name of Yuthok family, and the name started in 8th century with elderly Yuthok, and he was the personal physician to Tibetan Dharma king Trisong Detsen. And then after many generations, in 12th century, there was the second Yuthok. So we call him the rainbow body medical doctor. And so he was a highly educated medical doctor, medical physician. And he had extensively traveled to ancient China, Nepal, India, Persia, Mongolia, and collected all important medical informations. And then he composed this very famous Tibetan medical text, which is called the Four Tantras, Four Medical Tantras. And today it's known as the Bible of Soarikpa, or traditional Tibetan medicine. And then his other text is called the Yuthok Nyingthig. And the Nyingthig, it's a very important tantric Buddhist name. Nying means heart, and the Thig means the essence or drop. And so Yuthok Nyingthig we can translate as Yuthok's heart teaching. And of course, as a doctor, Yuthok gave medical teaching. And he says in his biography, most of his lifetime he dedicated for teaching on Soarikpa, or traditional Tibetan medicine, and treating patients, and doing research on Tibetan medicine, and writing texts or commentaries on Tibetan medicine and so on. And then more his private time or his personal time he used mostly for his Dharma practices. And Yuthok was a lay person. We call it a home yogi. It means a lay person. So he had his family, and wife, and children, and relatives. So he was a very ordinary home yogi. So therefore, I'm sure he was busy with his family too. But his personal or private time, he spent a lot for studying tantric teachings and receiving teachings, and also dedicating his time for practices. And then I think, being a householder, being a family's husband and father, and being, a doctor for his patient, and being a teacher to his students. And then, I think he had a really, really busy time. And so he really knew, what is our problems with when we are too busy, right? And so therefore, he actually created his tantric system is called Yuthok Nyingthig. It means Yuthok's heart teaching. And of course, it is based on the Vajrayana. Vajrayana is the tantric Buddhism. But he really taught this very essential and very simple and practical, yet effective spiritual tradition. And in his prophecy, he says, in future people will get very busy or very lazy. And then he designed this practice, for lazy and busy people. And also he says, mostly he dedicated this spiritual tradition for Tibetan healers and doctors or astrologers or even shamans. So therefore, normally once we are engaging in this kind of medical field for helping others. We're always kind of busy. And then he specially wrote this text for us. So it means it's really, how do you say, the time-wise, it's very short. It's very practical. And some of the practices, in the traditional style, we have to, for example, do a very strict retreat, solitary retreat for 6 months or for 3 months. And Yuthok always talked about retreats for 1 week, or sometimes 2 practices putting together for 1 week, or 3 days and a half for each practices and so on. So therefore, I think the Yuthok Nyingthig or Yuthok's heart teaching, it's really timely for us. Today, most of us, we are Buddhist tantric practitioners, or we are Vajrayana practitioners. We are all householders. We all have our family, we are in relationships, and then we need to take care of so many things, and then we all have different kind of jobs and work and paying bills, They're very specific, how do you say, ordinary families, business or work, we have to do it. It's the responsibility of everyone. It's very hard to find time for spiritual practices or for meditation and yoga. But also the business and laziness, we use them as an excuse. I'm too tired, I'm too lazy for doing the spiritual practices, for meditation and yoga. I think it's a very bad excuse, And also, we are saying we are always busy, we have no time at all for spiritual practices. I think also maybe it's a not good excuse, because spiritual practice and, including yoga, meditation, chanting mantras, all these things are so helpful for us, Medically, they are very helpful for our health, mental health, and the energy balance, and the physical health, of course. And also, it improves our spiritual health and balance. I think, the personal growth and the spiritual growth, all those things are very important for all of us. So that's why if we say we don't find time for spiritual practice, I think, it's a not good excuse. It's maybe one of the worst excuses. So therefore, we really need to use our own wisdom and intelligence to try to manage our life, As Buddha said, the problem is not we don't have time. The problem is we have too much time, I think, which is true. We have too much time for problems, and that's why we think we don't have time for practices. So therefore, if we become a little bit wiser and smarter, and then we know how to manage our time, and then, especially finding short time every day, let's say 15 to 30 minutes every day, and then maybe seasonally to finding 1 week to dedicate for ourselves, for doing retreat and these things. I think it's really, really useful and beneficial. So therefore, I'm personally, as a Yuthok Nyingthig's teacher and Sowa Rigpa's doctor, I'm fortunate that to share this knowledge, to worldwide. And, many of our students coming from different countries, both from, everywhere, from Asia, from West, and, from Africa, and from South America. And literally, our students are coming from everywhere. And everyone is kind of finding their own time and, their own favorite practice, and they dedicate their time to practice. And I really, as a teacher, I really feel fortunate that to share this knowledge with everyone. Thank you.